Welcome back to the second part of our Vatican adventure as we explore the Vatican itself. First, this is the Swiss Guard. They became the Guard in 1506 under Pope Julius II when he requested 200 permanent Swiss mercenaries to be his personal guards, and that tradition has stuck ever since. This basilisk actually was there when St. Peter was crucified. It got moved here later. A major benefit to booking a tour is that we get to pass this huge line into the Vatican. There were so many people waiting to get in, and we just cruised right past all of them. Seed pines? Those trees are seed pines, or umbrella pines. Oh, there's a palm tree. The Vatican has an extensive art collection. As a matter of fact, it is said that if you spend 1 minute in front of each piece of artwork, it will take you approximately 26 years to view the entire collection. And look at these floors. Can you imagine being the person who had to lay those? This place was overwhelmingly beautiful. Everywhere you looked was something else that you needed to take time to look at. The ceiling, the walls, the floors, the artwork. Oh, and let's not forget the people. So many people. It was like being a salmon in the upstream swim. This was an early morning tour, so I can only imagine what this would have been like later in the day. This tapestry was unique in that it was done in such a way that Jesus' eyes follow you as you walk past it, or at least they seem to.
천천히 저희 또 좌측 붙으면서 가볼 건데 이 앞에서 바로 촬영하시잖아요? 그러면 이제 뒤에 팀을 좀 막는 일이야. 쭉 앞으로 만들어볼게요. 쭉 앞으로 가볼게요. 쭉 가볼게요. 쭉 들어올게요. 쭉 들어올게요. 자, 제가 인생 그대가 쭉 들어오실게요. 이 친구가 맞는 가장 속도야. 같이 나오세요. 앞에 나오세요.
Okay, enough of that. I just wanted you guys to get a sense of the overwhelming stimulation to all of your senses being in this place has. It was really a lot to take in, both visually and also audibly. And if you are claustrophobic, there are a lot of people here. I'm not saying it's not beautiful. I'm just saying it's a lot. This tour ended in the Sistine Chapel. This is not the Sistine Chapel. This is the room leading up to it. But we cannot show you any video or pictures because there were none to be taken since they are copyrighted by the Japanese who did the restoration work. They get me too. What? What's making you feel better?
I like the next one better.
Of course you do. I'm going to save that video of you yelling that, and then I'm going to show them which one. That's the one she likes better, guys. Can you see why? After all that stimulation, we took refuge in a little restaurant called Da Francesca Roma and had a little carbonara. I cannot say that this was our favorite dish, though it was very good, but it had some fried pork cheek, and I'm not sure we were fans of that. And there's a bird on his head. All right, so we are exhausted today. And so we are going to have some dinner, but we ordered up room service. So this is a vegetarian pizza with some salami added to it and a Caesar salad, traditional. Do you want to know what came on her traditional Caesar salad? Do you know what those are? Yeah. Little fishes. Those are little fishes. So this is our dinner tonight.
They got vacated.
Let's hope. Yeah, I got them off of her plate because she's been an extremely picky eater through this trip, more so than usual. She does not usually get picky on the foods, but today, this week.
Made bad choices.
So,
in the description of the salad did not include anchovies.
it really actually did not.
I would have said to omit them.
So we're hoping she'll like her salad. Anyway, so this is dinner tonight. That's bread in the brown bag, we think.
No, let's see.
And we're going to sit here in our little hotel room. You can see it's a mess. We threw our clothes out there on the couch. That would be because we came home and died, but you'll hear more about that here in a little while after dinner when I tell you about our day. So,
There's bread.
all right. Well, we're going to eat. We'll see y'all in a minute. Hey, guys. You just heard Dana say she's tired. Let's tell you a little bit about our day that you're going to see in the video today. And that is that we went to the Vatican. We got up at 4:30 this morning, which is not Dana and Lisa time at all. We are not morning people. We do not get up early. We go out of our way to schedule our workday late enough that we can sleep until at least 8 to 9. And today we were up at 4:30. So we did that because we thought we were going to catch a train and go to another train and then go to another train and then go to a metro and then a different metro to get to where we were going at the Vatican. But when we got to the train station this morning, we had already bought our little €1.50 tickets, and we went to stick it in the machine, and not knowing how to use it and no English instructions. For those of you thinking about going to Italy, this is important. Don't stick the damn ticket all the way in the machine because it don't give it back. So it did. It took that ticket right away. We had stuck it in there and it was gone. We only had one ticket now, so we couldn't get on the train. We were already pushing it. It was like 5:32, and I think the dadgum train was supposed to be there at 5:31. So heck, we may have missed it. We don't even know. We never saw it. So we turned around and walked back to the hotel in the dark, down what felt like a sketchy alley, even though we never saw another human. And we found a taxi. Yeah, we could have slept another hour if we were going to take a taxi. And so we jumped in a taxi and we paid, about 36 euros to go to the Vatican from where we're staying, which is outside of town. We're staying a little ways away because our hotel is done on points. It's a Holiday Inn, and it was completely paid for with points. So it's worth it to be further out. So we got to the Vatican. Nope, that's a lie. We went to a piazza, and we met with Simone, our tour guide. And you'll see her. She's the one in the blue coat in the video with the little flag. And we went to St. Peter's Basilica. It was beautiful, stunning, gorgeous. It's the largest Catholic church in the world. All other Catholic churches could easily fit inside of this one. And it was huge. Very, very ornate. Very ornate. It was very pretty. So then when we got through there, we went to the Vatican museums. And if you spent 1 minute in front of every piece of artwork in the Vatican museums, it would take you 20 years to see all of the art. Needless to say, we did not see all of the art. We saw our first Michelangelo statue. We saw tapestries. We saw lots of statues, granite bathtubs. Anything else significant there that we saw? Besides the end. I mean, obviously the end of it.
I don't remember exactly where it was, but there was this huge, arch thing that looked like it was made from the pillars on it. Were carved from, a whole tree. It was pretty cool.
That was really pretty. And so then the last thing we did on that tour was the Sistine Chapel. And that was, again, just so beautiful to see that artwork. Now, of course, as you guys know, with most places in this world, there's a dark history behind all of that too. But it was really gorgeous and we enjoyed it. And then after 10,000 steps, we decided we didn't want to go to the rest of the Vatican Museum. What we had seen was sufficient. We were like salmon swimming in people. It was insane trying to get through there, bumper to bumper. It was hot. They don't have air conditioning. You got to keep your shoulders covered, so we had on long sleeves. Dana isn't even claustrophobic, and she couldn't breathe and felt claustrophobic. And so when
I was crammed into the chapel.
Yeah, we were crammed. We were crammed through the whole Vatican.
Us to squeeze in closer together, kind of like, remember the rides at Disney where you go into the little rooms?
Yes.
It was like that.
And they just shove all these people in there, and they keep shoving more in there.
And there's no windows, and it was stuffy. And
so we went outside and decided not to do any more of the Vatican. So we did not see all 20 billion pieces of artwork, but we did see a lot of it.
But the chapel was beautiful.
The Sistine Chapel was gorgeous. And then as soon as we got outside, it poured. Deluged. I'm talking about the skies opened up and Jesus thought our feet needed washed, I guess, because they got soaked. And that was pretty not fun. And then let's see, what did we do from there? Well, we had wet feet. And we had already, did I mention 10,000 steps just to the end of the Vatican. And now here we are. That's the Vatican Museum. So we're still in the center of the country of the Vatican that we have to walk out of in the rain. And so we walked another 25 minutes or so to get to the little restaurant, Da Francesca, which was on the other side of the Tiber River. We saw some pretty statues along the way. That's what you'll see with the pictures of Dana and I in front of the statues. And we went to Piazza Navona, which was very pretty. That's where the fountain is that you'll see in this video. And then guess what we did? Found a taxi. We were supposed to take the train home.
It was another 20-minute walk.
It wasn't. We were at 13,000 steps by this time with wet feet. And it kept raining and it wouldn't stop. And there was a taxi. It was like, ah. Needless to say, $32 later, we were back at the hotel and immediately in bed, where we slept for 4 hours like we had died, through another big storm because we could hear the thunder.
Loud. It was like good old Oklahoma.
It was a good solid storm.
Good sleeping.
So we got up from our nap at 6:30, and neither of us felt like doing anything or going anywhere. As a matter of fact, when we got out of bed to move, it sounded like, oh, ow, ooh, God, oh.
It wasn't a good sound.
It wasn't. Hips, legs, feet, everything hurt. Everything. So we ordered room service and had a
I
salad.
didn't even want to go down the elevator to the restaurant.
I paid 10 euros to have food brought up to me. The Catholics kicked our butts. So we're just hanging out here.
Those popes have some pretty red shoes.
Oh, they did. You'll see them in the video. That's what's.
Interesting.
They're obviously not the real popes. The real popes are in urns underneath the statues of them, but they are dressed in the pope's attire, and that was interesting. I watched a video before we came of somebody doing a review of it, and they got to it and said, "And there's dead popes." So it was neat. It was an interesting experience. Tomorrow, we are.
And a shout out to Miss Bonnie. I still have not been bitten by the zombie popes yet.
Yes, my sister, and that's Bonnie. If you've watched our videos, you know Dana had a heart attack in Alaska. Well, several years ago when we went to Florida, she got stung by a stingray. So my sister, being the comic that she is, told me to tell my wife that not to get bit by any zombie popes or drown in the Trevi Fountain.
We haven't been to the fountain yet. That might be it
So we survived zombie popes.
so far.
And so tomorrow we're going to get up not at 4:30. We are hopefully going to successfully take the train and the metro and the whatever else it takes to get 30 miles down the road. And I think tomorrow is the Spanish Steps, the
I
Pantheon.
told you we saw those in the car on the way by.
You don't have to climb them. And then the Trevi Fountain will be tomorrow. And then if we have time and energy and are at less than 13,000 steps by that time, we might go ahead and go over and see the Palatine Hill and whatnot near the Colosseum. Now, we have a date on the 7th to go see the Colosseum, but as many steps as we walk today, there's no telling what that day will look like. So if we're not overdoing it tomorrow, we'll probably go ahead and add some of that in. If we're at 13,000 steps, guess what we're doing? Coming back to the hotel and going to bed because, oh my God.
This girl's only been averaging around between 6,000 and 7,000 a day.
Yes, and 13,000 steps is a lot for anything. I don't care what you're doing.
Well, and it's constant. You know, the 7,000 is like throughout the whole day, and you get time to sit and rest. There was no sitting or resting or
No, we just went and went and went and went and went and went. Our
no place to sit. Period.
tour guide Simone was amazing, though.
She was good.
And we booked through Tickets. That's TIQUETS. And it was a good experience. I would recommend it. Now, we booked early to try to avoid the crowds. I'm not entirely sure that was successful.
Compared to that line when we came out.
Well, that is true. That line went around
and then looped back on itself.
Well, and even when we went into the Vatican, being on the tour guide was worth it. Because we bypassed a huge line to get into the Vatican early in the morning.
Into the Sistine Chapel.
It was the whole thing. It was to get into the Vatican. The Sistine Chapel is the end of the Vatican. So the whole entire shebang, I mean, there were, I don't know how many hundreds and hundreds of people were in that line this morning, but this afternoon it wound and wound and wound and wound and wound. So definitely paid for.
And then it rained, and then I went, phew.
Oh my God, it rained so hard, guys. So hard. It was not a sprinkle. It was not just a regular rain. It was such a downpour. So that's been our first full day in Rome. We successfully saw all of the smallest country in the world. All that we care to see.
Smallest and richest.
Smallest and richest.
Which
I have to warn you, a lot of people. And this is November, and as she said, this is the busiest November she's seen in like her entire lifetime of doing tours. But probably because of cheap airfare. That's why we're here.
It is.
So let me tell you a little bit about how we got here. So we had been back from Alaska for 2 weeks, I think, if that.
I swear it was a day.
And so we have some airfare credit through United that needed burned because we had booked a trip in 2020 that got canceled. And United's app has a thing where you can enter an airport you want to leave from, and it'll search the whole world. And there's these little bubbles above places. So I'm scrolling around the world, and I see Italy at the time was like, I don't know, $660 round trip from Dallas. That's cheap. So we ended up booking for just a little bit more than that because I couldn't book in their timeline. But I think it was in the $700 range. Anyways, we ended up flying here, round trip for both of us, for like $815. And then, like I said, our hotel, we had the points for it. So I was sitting in bed going through that and saw that airfare, and I popped up and said, hey, want to go to Rome? At like 10:30 at night.
We just pulled in the driveway. We just parked, and she says, do you want to go to Rome? And I'm like, we just got here.
She wanted to travel.
I do. I just wasn't prepared.
So we decided to come to Rome. So we were home for 5 weeks.
Though I really shouldn't be surprised because most of the time on our way home from trips, she's working on the next one.
But I wasn't as much this time because somebody had a heart attack that kind of messed some stuff up. And I wasn't sure how she was going to do at that time. And so, but also we have some trips already planned for the beginning of next year. And so this one really wasn't in the works, but we had to burn that credit.
You were going to lose it.
Yes. And I didn't want to lose $400 in credit. So here we are, sitting in Rome, in a hotel, in a bed, eating hotel food.
It's okay.
Because we're too damn tired to do anything else. I think we're getting old. Shh, don't tell no one. So anyways, I don't know if this will be at the beginning or the end of this video that as I put it together. But I wanted you guys to know what we've got going on, why we're here, how many thousands of steps we took. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully it's some really cool stuff and not quite 13,000 steps. Peace out. We'll see you down the road.